Alright, so I'm supposed to do a passenger briefing for you guys. It's also part of my responsibility. And I would like you to pay a little bit of attention because this is kind of important for all of us. First things first, it's something that I tell all my friends. Aviation is fun, but it's not a joke. So the #1 priority for this flight will be safety. And we will not do anything that compromises the safety of the plane or the people in the plane. So that's going to be the #1 priority. #2, please make sure that your personal belongings are secure or stowed. Especially for you, you can probably give it to Pranav because you see those pedals underneath. You don't want anything to go get stuck under those pedals because they're used for controlling the plane. All right. And third one is regulations require that you keep your seat belts fastened for taxi, takeoff, and landing. But I would highly recommend keeping the seat belts fastened for the entire flight because end of the day, this is a small airplane. You anyway cannot walk around like a commercial airliner. And these planes are more subject to turbulence and bumps. Because they're small and light, so you might as well stay strapped in so that you avoid any kind of injuries. Fourth one is it is our collective responsibility to be safe. So it's also important that you know the airplane. So this airplane has one exit, which is the door through which you came in. You have air vents here. This is not an air-conditioned airplane. This is a non-air-conditioned airplane. So you're going to have outside air, which is going to come through this. Okay, so you can adjust it so that you get enough air to keep you kind of fresh because it's a hot day. And also I have an oxygen cylinder here. So in case any of you have any kind of breathing issues, which you probably would not because we're only going to fly low altitude. You usually get breathing issues only beyond like 10,000 feet. We're only going to stay at 3,500 to 4,000. You're not going to have any problems, but in case you do, in case you have any kind of breathing trouble, motion sickness, feel free to grab that and take a shot of oxygen. And I also have barf bags, the blue bags that you see there, one for you and Pranav, one for you here. So in case you feel pukish, feel free to grab that and use it. That is just for backup. It doesn't mean you're gonna feel pukish. Yeah, it's just there.
Got it.
Yeah, in case it's too turbulent and all that stuff. The other aspect of safety is traffic spotting. So if you see any airplanes in the vicinity which I fail to notice or the radar controller fails to tell me, but you spot it, you see anything unusual, feel free to let me know. And when you tell me about traffic, please use the clock method. Traffic at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and everything in between. Okay? And if you're sitting in the front seat, which means it's for you, please refrain from holding on to the flight controls. Okay, so I will give you the controls for like a few minutes in between. I will let you feel how it feels to fly a plane. But other than that, please don't grab onto it if there's like a quick bump or something. Like just don't grab onto this one and any of these controls right here. So yeah, please don't interfere with the controls accidentally. It's going to cause problems. And the next one is what we call a sterile cockpit rule, which is we would maintain minimal conversation to absolute silence during 3 phases, which would be taxi, which is getting from here to the runway, takeoff, and third one is landing. Other than that, once we start cruising, you can ask me any questions about the plane, about anything aviation, non-aviation. We can have all the fun conversations. Taxi, takeoff, and landing is like a pretty stressful phase for pilots. There's a lot of high workload, so we will keep the conversations to the minimum. And finally, it is easy to say, but in case of an emergency, please don't panic and give me the chance to get the plane back in control. And if we have to do an evacuation, you will go out first, followed by Pranav, followed by me. If there's any other questions, any other concerns, please feel free to ask or say. Sounds good?
Yep.
Any questions?
I think
Perfect.